Now let us see some illustrative examples of IO operators in C++. So let us say I have two variables. Let's say one is int I equals value of 10, and also I have a floating point number float f which has a value of 20.77. And now if I want to one thing, it is possible to write down two instructions in the same line separated by the semicolon. There is no problem in that. You can write on the same line or you can write on the different line, so that's okay. So now let us focus on the IO operators. So if I want to print the value of I and f, then what can I do? Then I can use the cout operator followed by this less than symbol, and then since I am going to print the value of a variable, I really do not need any semicolon. And if I print just if I do not need any quotation symbol, and I can just print this I, and if I run this program, we'll see that the value of I have been printed over here. The same way, if I want to print the value of f, just I will write down f here and it will print the value of f. And if I want to print some kind of message in the program, just remember the first hello world program that you have written. So if I want to print any type of message in the output, then what I have to do, I have to put that message string in the inside the quotation symbol, and that is it. So now if I just run this, so it is printing a message, something like this. So the thing that you need to remember, if you want to print a message, a string, you have to put it inside a semicolon, inside a double quote symbol. And if you want to print just the value inside the variable, you really do not need to put it in a double quote. So that is about cout statement. Now let us see how cin statement works. That is to take the value from a user. So for that purpose, let us define again. So let me get rid of this code. So let me again write down like int I is a variable. See, this time I did not initialize the value because my motivation is to take the value from the user. And also I'm initializing another variable called, let's say, floating point number, that is float f. If I want to take the value from the user, then what I can do is, that is cin greater than then I. So that's what I have to do. And now if I run the program, what happens here is the code is simply waiting for, so program is running as you can see. So here the program is waiting for the input from the user. So that is cin I. So let's say my input is 10, and then whenever I will hit enter, it is done, and the value of 10 have been stored in the variable I. Now how to prove that? The same thing will happen for f also. So let's say if I just do like cin f, that is also similar thing. So if I run it, the program is simply waiting on the user input. Now I can enter any floating point number, and let's enter like 20.77, and whenever I will hit enter over here, the program stops and the value of the value of 20.77 have been stored in F. So now how to prove it? Just print out the value of F. Let's see whether the user input have been actually stored in F or not. So let's try to prove that. So cout F. So what is the expected output of the program? Well, in this line, it is taking a value from the user, and then in the cout line, line number 10, it is outputting or printing out the same value which is given by the user. Let us see whether that happens or not. So here I am running the program. So program is running. So because of line number 9, the cin statement, program is waiting on user input. So let's say my input this time is 134.876. Some random floating point number I have input, given as input. Now whenever I will hit the enter, it should print the same value, that is 134.876. So let's hit enter and let's see what happens. And as you can expect, for the cout line, it is printing the value that have been taken from the user. The same is true for the integer variable also. So if I just do this, just change the f from I from f, and it is waiting on user input. So let's say I'm giving 9999 integer and just hit enter, and the program is printing the value of I which have been entered by the user. So that is about the simple IO operator in C++.